All right, good morning. I'm Chris Caldwell, and I'm here at ProMat. And today we're going to talk about smarter material handling and advancing automation in the warehousing industry. Real quick, I'll just go over a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for a little over 20 years. I'm a product manager at Yaskawa America, Motoman Robots division. And one of the main things and the reason that I like to be in product management is I really enjoy strategic planning. It's been one of the things that I've done in multiple different companies throughout my career. It's also a good place for me to be involved in statistical analysis. And in other roles, I've been specifically a warehouse manager and always worked in manufacturing facilities. So I have a decent amount of automation background, but I've only been at Yaskawa for a little over 3.5 years. About Yaskawa, we are a Japanese company headquartered in Kitakyushu, Japan. We have annual sales, depending on exchange rates, usually go between $4 and $4.5 billion, $10 billion market cap, and 18,000 global employees. We have production facilities in 28 countries across the globe. As that splits out, we kind of split regionally into 3 different areas. So there's Yaskawa Electric Corporation in Japan. They're in charge of all of Asia and Australia. Yaskawa Electric in Germany is in charge of the whole European and Middle Eastern area. And our headquarters there in Miamisburg, Ohio, is the robotic headquarters for all of the Americas region, which includes the US, Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. We have a full line of robots, positioners, and we also do pre-engineered turnkey work cells. Those are predominantly to support the welding industry, but on the material handling side, one of the key areas of growth for us and the key areas of focus has been the logistics and warehousing industry. As we look at that, and as I mentioned, have a lot of background in the manufacturing industry, a lot of the manufacturing industry you see over here on the left-hand side, they do a lot of single case piece picking and get that all put into cases. The cases are then built into pallets, and those pallets are distributed. That's kind of standard. Traditional automation has been serving that for decades. And as we get into the distribution, fulfillment, third-party logistics, and pretty much everything that the focus of this show, we take those full pallets and we split them up into mixed cases, split those cases down into the individual pieces, and then fulfill those throughout an entire warehouse. So as we have evolved in the automation industry and moved things forward, we get into ever more difficult applications for robots and other types of automation. What that looks like, obviously on our end, we do a lot of robotic piece picking, a lot of case palletizing and depalletizing, and we also do some layer picking. Outside of just robots, just opportunities for automation in the industry, there's a lot of conveyors. You'll walk around the floor here on the show, you'll see a lot of different conveyor companies. AGVs are an expanding way of getting goods throughout a facility. And where we're keeping humans in the loop there, we do a lot of pick to light and put to light, allowing there to be lower incidences of mispicks or incorrect order fulfillment. AMRs, ASRS systems are getting to be more and more complicated, more common, but people want to get more out of each one of those systems. They want higher speeds, more product density, as well as at the load-out side, you want to be able to get those products inducted into that system, and then as you're pulling it out, you're fulfilling an order. We have robots on both ends of those ASRS systems as well. And another thing you'll see a lot on the floor here are these semi-automatic forklifts. All of these things, kind of the entire warehouse industry is in transition as things are becoming more and more automated. And so even with these applications and these areas for automation, things are continuing to grow. As we look at things for, the last 15, 20 years, you did a lot of palletizing, case erection, depalletizing, labeling, are standard applications that can be pre-programmed, pre-coded, and allow that robot to do the activity without any type of external sensors, without additional programs running, no AI. But then as we've expected more and tried to get more of a human replacement, we're getting into more and more of the mixed SKU applications. So intelligent picking, changing the actual speed and trajectory of the robot based on what it's picking, understanding what it's needing to go get without it having been pre-programmed, doing parcel induction, and being here in Plus One's booth, obviously parcel induction is something that they're a market leader in, quickly handling a large number of products that aren't pre-programmed. You don't have predefined pick points, and you have to react to the reality of life. Things don't come in singulated and easy to get to. There's just a big cluster of items. There's difficult to segment, and their throughput is a very important measurement. Mixed SKU depalletizing, another common way that we're becoming more and more active in replacing and supplementing human workforce where there's shortages. A lot of times the actual end use locations for all of the goods, they don't want to get a single pallet of all one product. It has to be mixed to meet their actual demands. They don't need a full pallet of any single SKU, and then getting all of those things pulled off and put into the correct location is very important. And creating those pallets as well, and doing the full layers. So how do we go to market to meet these demands? Yaskawa is a robot company first. So what do we want to do? We want to capture that lead, and we want to sell a robot. What do we need to do to get there often is we need to engage with our technology partners, the people that will provide that vision, provide those pick locations, identify, segment those items, people like Plus One that have that software and that support that are able to get that mission accomplished and close that loop for us. And in some cases, then they can sell direct into those customer applications, but also frequently they'll engage with a system integrator, and system integrators can go ahead, engage with Plus One, deploy those systems. So there's 3 different ways that it can go, a lot of times based on the complexity of the actual application. Sometimes somebody can just buy a robot, integrate it themselves. Sometimes they'll need to have a technology partner to add that vision and AI, and sometimes the system integrator will deliver a turnkey sell. With that, we are a full-line manufacturer of robots. So despite what the need might be, if it's high-speed picking, we have the Deltas and the Scaras, articulated arms moving through most of the path, as well as dedicated palletizing and depalletizing manipulators. They range from half a kilogram payload all the way up to 900 or 1,200 kilograms, and then you can have up to a 17-meter reach. The main 3 product lines are our GP series for general purpose, high axis speeds, appropriate for most applications, the PL series, aptly named for palletizing, and we do have 3 different collaborative models that are all very industrial and have the same type of life, the same motors, the same reducers, as well as the same controller as our industrial robots, so you get the same type of performance and the same lifestyle. One of the key places that we have here is with the partners like Plus One that have very specific areas of specialty, and they're able to bring that additional value. They have that expertise. I mentioned the high-speed parcel induction. They also do mixed SKU depalletizing, some other applications. Their vision is very much leading in terms of high throughput. They can get that recognition segmentation done very quickly, give those points to us in the robot. And when we have things like our mixed case depalletizing or our parcel induction, frequently our robot never has to stop. By the time we have cleared the zone to complete a place, they've already identified the next pick, and we can then get right back in there. So there's no downtime. The robot is being used to its full potential, and the vision system is able to operate at that speed or faster. Other things that they bring into play. Plus One has a lot of different value that they're bringing. In many cases, our robot is just the muscle moving the product. They have to see things. They have to provide us points. They have to understand what it is, find the edges of any place that they're getting into and out of. Their support scan and flight. There's about 30 different things up here that I'm probably not going to talk to about all of them. Some of them are based on different applications, but in many ways, Plus One brings the brains to our robot, and in the top right, they also bring a human in the loop. So at any given point, regardless of how good your robot program is, regardless of how good your vision system is, there's going to be cases that are operating outside of what you expected. In those cases, their Yonder system allows a remote crew chief to provide additional information to get that robot back up and running and complete the job every time. Some examples of this, one of the real simple examples that we have is actually in our booth, just 2 booths down the row here. We have a parcel induction and singulation demo. We had actually initially launched this demo with an alternate vision provider. We had some issues with that, both in terms of overall availability and uptime, as well as the throughput that wasn't meeting the needs of what we were trying to show to the industry. A couple years ago, we made the switch over to Plus One on this demo. We've got a much more reliable, much more robust system, and it's also at a pick rate of over 1,600 picks per hour. So within the industry, that's pretty much at the top end of what you're going to get for a single robot. And the only thing that we ever wait for is for our conveyor to index. So in many ways, the vision and robot are limited only by the other third-party technologies. Beyond that demo, we also have multiple installs in FedEx. With this being in a real world rather than a little bit of a controlled environment that you have in a trade show, we're averaging frequently anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500 picks per hour, depending on what all is flowing through there and what the reality of the situation is. But in doing so, we have hundreds of thousands, millions of picks completed over the years, and it's been a very successful application and partnership. So we're looking forward to doing more.